welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Sky Orchard.
And I don't think we talked about Kesha last time we were together.
We did not.
We definitely need to talk about Pitbull because Pitbull just happened.
Like, we've hung out quite a bit, and we have not told people.
No, and before that, we went to a soccer game together.
It's true.
It's like Sky and I like each other.
We're going to another concert.
Well, that was not for a while.
Still, like, of the summer concerts, you will be winning as far as who I've gone with.
You're the only person I've gone with. You and my mother.
I'm winning.
Oh, wait, no, I guess I'm going to one with Lisa, so I will retract that.
I'll still win.
That's right. That's Backstreet Boys. I'm also going to still try and bully you into my comedy show because I think you'll like it. Pitbull was fun. It was very much a flashback to my college years. None of the Gen Zers knew how to dance to Pitbull or Lil Jon, and I physically can't dance like that anymore.
I still can't believe they didn't dance the Soldier Boy correctly. Like, I should have hopped up out of my chair and done it because I can still do that dance.
I was doing it, and I was like, nobody else is doing it this way. Am I wrong? And I'm like, no. The children are wrong. The children don't know the dances anymore.
We have not taught the youth. We have failed them.
None of them know, like, where the window is to the wall, where the window... I knew where...
Yeah.
Come on.
Always right.
The wall.
Left.
I was watching a Formula One race this past weekend, and there was somebody... Had they finished where they were, they would have been on the podium, and then they crashed into the wall. One of the announcers was like, from the podium to the wall. And then I just started singing.
Amazing. Good job, announcer.
Fantastic. I finished The Big Sleep. It is done. It got a little more racist. It stayed the same amount of sexist. It was more sexist than it was racist. There was just a dash of homophobia in there.
Oh, just a dash.
But it wasn't even like, it talked about gay people a little judgmentally, but not as judgmentally as you would expect for 1939. It was like almost woke. For 1939.
Better than the Utah government right now.
I just had a couple more. None of these are as good as the last one. So first of all, I got the murderer. I was right about the initial murder, but then there were like 4 more murders.
As one does.
I got the overarching murder that I didn't even know was a murder. I got that one completely wrong. A boy, let's say like late teens, early 20s kid who committed a murder. He gets caught. I just thought this was interesting. They like censor inside the book. So, and the way they write it is go dash yourself.
Okay.
So it's a little hyphen. And that's all this kid says. He never says anything else. He just keeps repeating this throughout all of his scenes. I was like, all right. Okay, I like this one. That sounds like it might grow up to be a dirty story.
Ooh.
The private detective is very anti-cop, which is fun for us in our times. They're yelling at him because he didn't report the first death earlier, and now they're blaming subsequent deaths on him for not reporting the first one because they're like, we could have prevented the other ones. Now this kid killed somebody, and it's your fault. The private detective replies back, tell that to your coppers next time they shoot down some scared petty larceny crook running away up an alley with a stolen spare. Cop violence.
Still shooting.
I like all the comments about women. Like, they're all a little bit terrible, but they're all really fun. She'd make a jazzy weekend, but she'd be wearing for a steady diet.
Okay.
I feel like that's true about me. Talking about a guy who is super, super passed out drunk. Such a nice escort, Mr. Cobb. So attentive. You should see him sober. I should see him sober. Somebody should see him sober. I mean, just for the record. So it could become a part of history, that brief flashing moment, soon buried in time, but never forgotten, when Larry Cobb was sober. I do like this insult. His chin would never hit a wall before he saw it.
Oh, weak-chinned.
No chin. Oh, and then he also tells a woman, you're no English muffin yourself.
I'm going to start using that one.
It's a good one. Okay, this is another private detective that's trying to give our main guy some information. He had tight, brilliant eyes that wanted to look hard and looked as hard as oysters on the half shell. I don't know what to do with this description. She was tall rather than short, but no beanpole. She was slim, but not a dried crust.
So she was average?
I'm following it along until we get to the dried crust, and then I'm just like, huh. Last one, and then we're done with the big sleep forever. Crazy girl with her thumb is back.
Oh, yes, the thumb sucker.
Yeah. She put her thumb up and giggled. I'm not. When she giggled, I didn't like her anymore. Same.
Was this after she sucked her thumb that she's giggling, or she's just putting her thumb up?
Sometimes she talks and sometimes she giggles like around her thumb, I think. Oh. By the end of the book, she's insane. Like getting carted off.
To the asylum.
Yeah.
I see. So this book had made a couple like top 100 lists. Do you agree with that ranking?
I haven't read enough old detective novels. I can't imagine it would necessarily beat out an Agatha Christie. Like it was a twist. Obviously, I didn't see it coming, but I didn't feel like I was just kind of like when it was real, I was like, oh, like it didn't feel like, oh my gosh, that's so shocking. I was just like, oh, that's what we're doing. So I don't know.
BBC News listed it as 100 most influential novels. The Guardian ranked it 62 of its 100 novels. The New York Times gushed about it.
But I feel like there were other ones that were written earlier than that kind of set the tone for the genre. It is a very much stereotypical for the genre. So if it was one of the ones who's kind of establishing, like, this is how these books go and this is what they sound like, I could see that. For a detective novel in this day and age, where I've read some other ones where I was just like, whoa, what? How did that happen? I could see, though, in the late 30s, early 40s, that it would be a big hit.
Also, there's an adaptation with Humphrey Bogart I think we need to watch. I didn't notice this fun trivia when I went over what The Big Sleep is about. The Big Lebowski was inspired by the character of Philip Marlowe.
I've never watched The Big Lebowski. I need to watch it and see how accurate that is.
You haven't seen The Big Lebowski?
I haven't.
I will watch the B movie and you watch The Big Lebowski.
Let's do it back to back and we have a letter B movie day.
Yes.
And we'll have burritos and bananas.
Okay. And beverages.
Beverages. We love a beverage. Oh, boy.
Okay. Let's get into this episode.
I do have a question, and I thought of it while I was watching. So proud of myself. If you had your own political party, what would your mascot be? And you can't choose cats.
I would do a phoenix.
All right. Whoa, fancy. Fancy. We're burning something down or creating something new.
Exactly.
All right.
Burning down the patriarchy.
Mine's going to be a hedgehog.
Very, very different there.
I was trying to think of like a fancy like explanation for why a hedgehog, and it's just because I want a hedgehog. All right. We are to Season 3, Episode 22, The Long and Winding Shortcut. TV guide description. When Sabrina tries to get help with the family secret, she gets banished to the other realm prairie without any modern conveniences. Our streaming description. Sabrina is stripped of modern conveniences after using shortcuts to solve her family secret. I feel like those are saying the exact same things, just in different orders.
Yes.
It originally aired April 30th, 1999, despite the fact that Hulu is trying to gaslight us into believing it was March 12th.
What is Hulu's problem? We need to have an intervention at this point.
I have no idea. Gary Halverson is back as our director. Renee Phillips and Carrie Honningbloom are returning as our writers. We have a few guest stars, and this is like weirdly, very lightly Utah related on a couple of these. First up is Monty Hall as himself. He was a radio and TV show host, a radio newsreader and sportscaster, and then starting in 1963, he was the host, co-creator, and co-producer of Let's Make a Deal, leading to the famous Monty Hall problem. Evan O'Meara is Hank from Ally McBeal, Charmed, Providence, and SLC Punk. And you know, Jason Segel was in that movie.
I admittedly still need to watch SLC Punk.
Same, but I definitely thought it was like local actors. I didn't think it was like real actors. Next, we have Dave Nemeth as the reporter from News Radio, Desperate Housewives, Sabrina Down Under. He was the original male host of Extra, and he also did the weather for local news channel Fox 13.
Whoa.
That's what I was like, what is this episode? I'm impressed for Fox 13 for scoring the original host of Extra. Good job. I like Fox 13. I don't like Fox News. I like our local channel, Fox. I feel like they do good reporting. Rich Brinkley is our 50-year-old man from Saved by the Bell, The New Class, Thunder Alley, Twin Peaks, and the 1988 to 90 TV series Beauty and the Beast. Carmen Philpe is the old guy from The Wedding Singer, Beetlejuice, Halloween 4, Smart Guy, and Mouse Hunt. And lastly, we have William Bassett as Uncle Roy. He is from The Karate Kid, Arrested Development, Scrubs, and then voices for Fallout and Warcraft video games. A little bit of trivia. This title is an allusion to The Long and Winding Road, a ballad written by Paul McCartney. What were your overall thoughts on this one, Sky?
This episode was fun, but also very frustrating. Like, if I could murder Miss Quick, I would go full Hilda on that woman. Like,
oh, why?
It frustrates me that she's so good with this stupid board.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, but is she? She had a full 24 hours, or I guess like 18, to do nothing but think of the family clues, and she still came up with Mafire.
I mean, I was saying Mafire for a long time too, so.
You were going, fire. Would you have been more or less frustrated had I if I hadn't pushed you to solve the aviary clue last week?
I definitely would have been more frustrated, so thank you for that. A remote might have ended up at my TV.
My frustration is that Sabrina has every member of the Spellman, and she cannot get that the next word is family. Like, just sentence structure-wise, it has to be like family, clan, something like that. Like,
it throws you off because you have blank plus Robert E. Lee, and so it makes it seem like there's more.
But if you go like, Lee, like, I don't know. Our cold open. Hilda is knitting, and Salem asks for mittens, but she refuses. Sabrina struggles to get through Wuthering Heights and asks someone to tell her what happens. Zelda tells her she needs to do it on her own, and Hilda never read it.
Hilda says, sorry, never read it. Emily Bronte bugged me. She was in my English class, and she always thought she was so brilliant. So Bronte lived from 1818 to 1848. Does this fit with the aunt's timeline? Because Hilda would never choose to do extra schooling past mandatory education. And this seems like, her 200s for the 1830s?
300s, almost. I firmly believe that Hilda would be held back for 300 years.
Okay. The lovely topic of Wuthering Heights. How does one even begin to describe Wuthering Heights? My
comment was that Zelda thinking Wuthering Heights is a wonderful love story explains her relationship with Mr. Kraft. I know I've read it, but I feel like I didn't absorb what I read when I read it. I think it was just one of those things where I was like, I need to read this and get through this just so I can say I've read it. Like, it's the same thing with Sense and Sensibility. I know I read it, because then I read Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters.
The superior novel.
Still can't really tell you what happened.
So, Wuthering Heights is the only novel by the English author Emily Bronte, initially published in 1847 under her pen name Ellis Bell. It concerns two extensive upland estates and their landowning families on the West Yorkshire moors, the Earnshaws and the Lintons, and their turbulent relationships with Earnshaw's foster son Heathcliff. Driven by themes of love, possession, revenge, and reconciliation, the novel is influenced by Romanticism and Gothic fiction. It is considered a classic piece of English literature. Though contemporaneous reviews were polarized, Wuthering Heights has come to be considered one of the greatest novels written in English. It was controversial for its depictions of mental and physical cruelty. I'd say it still is, including domestic abuse, and for its challenges to Victorian morality, religion, and the class system. It has inspired an array of adaptations across several types of media. Graham's Lady magazine of the time wrote, "How a human being could have attempted such a book as the present without committing suicide before he had finished a dozen chapters is a mystery. It is a compound of vulgar depravity and unnatural horrors." Virginia Woolf loved the book, though, so Wuthering Heights, it's a treat.
Wuthering Heights. Is it a love story? Sabrina decides to use magic to take her into the book.
Take me into the book. Knowing what happens would be heaven. Flip ahead to page 211.
She zaps herself to a foggy moor, and I have waited almost 3 full seasons thinking I hallucinated this scene. I was so glad it was real. I was like starting to convince myself I had just taken part of the where Sabrina's doing the frog trial with Harvey part. I thought I had just like crafted something in my brain about that. So I'm glad I didn't hallucinate it. Sabrina zaps back home, shivering. Zelda tried to warn her not to use shortcuts. Our outfit intro. I need to stop trying to guess and type what the outfit is as it's revealing, because I was like, Highway Patrol. It is a forest ranger. And she says, remember, only you can prevent laughter.
But why would we want to prevent laughter? This is a comedy, right? Like,
we've decided we cannot think too deeply.
I don't think that's thinking deeply about it at all. That's a fairly surface level observation.
Hilda is struggling with the crossword puzzle.
Zelda asks, this is not going to turn out ugly like that tic-tac-toe incident, is it? And Hilda says, despite my dating history, I couldn't think of a word for male turkey.
I also couldn't. I was like, what is a 3-letter word for male turkey?
I want to know more about this tic-tac-toe incident.
Oh, it was definitely when she was playing against Salem.
Or actual toes were lost, and they were using, actual thumbtacks.
Sabrina comes downstairs asking for coffee. She stayed up all night finishing her book report with no shortcuts. Zelda is proud of her. At this point, I said, couldn't we argue that basically all magic is a shortcut?
We could.
What are we defining as a shortcut here, Zelda? Is it only for homework? Is it for family secrets? Where's the defining line? Because I'm going to guarantee whatever happens next week, Sabrina's going to use magic to get around doing something the hard way.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Hilda starts flossing her brain to clear her mind and get a quick burst of temporary knowledge. And that floss is very clearly going behind her head and nowhere near her ears. Sabrina points out that is a shortcut. Suddenly, band music starts playing. They all go upstairs to find a patriotically dressed Salem declaring that it's election time in the other realm. Uncle Sam is at the linen closet door and hands a sample ballot to Sabrina, telling her to vote, then tells Hilda to stop calling him.
Zelda lets us know that in the other realm, he's called Uncle Roy.
But they don't know why. Why is he called Sam here?
I feel like I knew the answer once upon a time, actually.
Is it short for something? Like how Chuck E. Cheese is short for Charles Entertainment Cheese?
Charles Entertainment Cheese, really?
I'm pretty sure. I read it on Threads, so it must be true.
Might have been named after Samuel Wilson.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess slave owner?
American meat packer.
That's a weird person. What? Revolutionary?
Yeah, continental.
Okay. I guess knowing how to chop things up helps when you're at war. Sabrina notes that there's a proposition that would allow you to tell your mortal boyfriend about your magic, but she's not old enough to vote. Zelda tells her the other realm voting age is actually 17. Sabrina gleefully chants that she gets to vote. Salem is disappointed that he cannot due to his felon status. He wanted to change the pronunciation of Friday to Phrygia. And this is your PSA to vote. I have my primary ballot sitting right next to my computer because I need to research the candidates and find out which ones are the least terrible and vote for them. A lot of people are doing primaries right now. It is important. I know we did this before, back when our podcast was still new. I'm going to say it again. It is extremely important, perhaps even more important, that you vote for your down ballot small races than just the big Senate, Congress, president. Vote for the treasurer of your city. Vote for the school board members. Because let me tell you, you'd be shocked at how much power those quote-unquote small roles have in either changing or obstructing the way government is supposed to work and making it more or less efficient and more or less equitable. Vote for the small ones, maybe even more so than the big ones. Because so few people vote in our city elections and county level, and that's where we need it. Because we need to stop the crazies before they work their way up the chain. Stop them early. Sabrina is excited for this proposition to pass so she can tell Harvey everything. And at this point, I wonder, does Marigold still get to vote even without her powers? Because this proposition could come in handy.
I mean, she knows the family secret and how to use a toaster.
Yeah, she might be a felon.
She might.
She probably covered up for something Amanda did, so she might have a felony. Hilda can also tell her boyfriend, Hank, that she's a witch. Zelda points out that they haven't even gone on a date yet. Sabrina reads more to find there's an orientation for first-time voters that afternoon, and she gets to join a political party. Do we do that for first-time voters? Do we do orientations for them? Or just here's your ballot, kid, figure it out?
Here's your ballot, kid, figure it out. Don't forget to do it.
Zelda advocates for her party, the Social Democratic Do-Gooder Party, and Hilda pushes for hers, the Party. And this officially answers the question, who was on what side during the Civil War? Valerie begs Sabrina to help her sew costumes for her church play.
It's the Lord's work.
I did like Sabrina that says, I can't do it tonight, but tomorrow I'll be there for you and the Lord or something.
Yep.
It was kind of weird. I'm like, we've really never discussed Christianity, even in the Christmas episode.
Or Valerie being churchy.
Sure. I mean, it checks out. It checks out. But it was very weird. Sabrina offers to help tomorrow. An exhausted Harvey joins them. He finished his book report early, but his mom is in her 3rd trimester and the toilet flushing is keeping him up all night.
Sabrina says, but I thought you made a bed out of fertilizer bags in the garage. Harvey says, I did. My dad's using it.
We know they have at least 2 children already, with quite a large age gap between the 2 of them. How small is this house?
Great question. Also, surely there's more than fertilizer bags to make a bed from.
I don't know. Harvey likes that he can tell Sabrina anything. I was like, was that really a secretive thing to share with her? Sabrina is at her orientation, and we have some fun posters in the background. One, it says Philip S. Honningbloom for Witches Council, which is our writers' last names. And then the party mascot is a drunk zebra. Uncle Sam/Roy says he hopes everyone has figured out their family secrets because if you haven't solved it, you can't vote. Sabrina is shocked. Uncle Sam/Roy asks everyone who has solved the secret to raise their hands, then everyone who hasn't. Sabrina is one of 2 people to raise her hand. She turns around to find an older gentleman also raising his hand. He almost has his solved. And as someone who is almost closer to 50 than 30, I'm very uncomfortable with that man just being called 50-year-old man.
Apologies.
I don't know. 55 maybe? I'm not choosing to believe 50.
The older man of unknown age.
Indeterminate age.
Yes. Says, I've just about got it. I've started taking ginkgoba and offers Sabrina some. Ginkgoba is the brand name medicine that utilizes ginkgo. And ginkgo, according to the Mayo Clinic, is one of the oldest living types of trees. Most ginkgo products use extract from ginkgo's fan-shaped leaves. It has 2 main substances that are good for health. Flavonoids, which are antioxidants that help protect the body's cells from damage, and it has a type of terpenoid. Terpenoids help keep blood moving by widening blood vessels. It most often comes as a tablet, extract, capsule, or tea taken by mouth. Don't eat raw or roasted ginkgo seeds, which can poison you. Much of the research on it focuses on its effects on dementia, memory, and pain caused by peripheral artery disease, blocking blood flow to the arms and legs. So, the dementia's setting in, Laura of an undeterminate age. Maybe you need some ginkgo in your life.
I also love a good flavonoid. Hilda asks Zelda to do her hair the way she used to when they were young girls.
In their early hundreds.
Zelda zaps a tall white wig onto Hilda.
I haven't worn this since I was almost beheaded. We know where Hilda was at the French Revolution, which side she was on.
We know when the party was established. That thing's been around for a long time. Sabrina comes in and asks why they didn't tell her she needed to solve her family secret before she could vote. Zelda says that's new. You used to only need to know how to work a toaster.
Sabrina says, what a surprise. A witch rule that works to my disadvantage.
Zelda tells her she'll figure it out in time to vote. Sabrina admits she's only figured out 1 clue. The aunts are shocked, which I was like, have they not been paying attention to this girl? Like,
how long did it take for them to provide the board?
Yeah, like we're real, and we're going to have an episode. I think it's the next one. Where the Witches Council gets after them and is like, you need to make sure she solves this family secret. Like, you're running out of time. And I'm like, they haven't checked it. Salem knows how little of this she has solved. Like, okay. Zelda offers to get her a tutor. Salem is tutoring Sabrina. He solved his family secret with only 2 clues. I told you we would get to a character who was like, I did it this quickly. Like, assuming he also had a board, do you think they all start off the same with every member of the whatever family?
Ooh, good question.
And then, like, from there, it's like ours is born with, but maybe theirs develops a rash. I don't know.
Is that the level of family secret I should be expecting?
Maybe. Like, maybe they all start off kind of the same way. I don't know. Maybe his family secret is every member of the Saberhagen family tries to take over the world.
Every member is a felon at some point in their lives.
He tells her to first remove the dirty clothes hanging on her puzzle board.
It's not a Stairmaster, young lady.
It's also not clothes. It's like a blanket and then like a wrap and then just like a piece of cloth. He tries walking her through each clue. She guesses the birds are chickens. Then the fire clue is fire. Salem mocks her.
When pointing out she knows the Spellman clue, he says, look out, Harvard. When talking about fire, he says, right, fire. That makes so much sense. Let's use it in a sentence. Run, the house is on fire.
Sabrina tells him he's fired. And I said, we need to make at least one sticker out of this. Either a run, the house is on my fire, or you can't ma fire me, I'm a quit.
Cauldron watch. We get some pens, pencils, and we saw, I believe in Sabrina's pen pal, I thought it might be a skinny notebook. It is actually a card, so your guess that potentially it's the card from Martha could actually be correct, and we maybe had some continuity between our script and props.
Do you think she's still writing to Martha, or do you think she has a new pen pal?
She probably feels bad for Martha, so she's still writing.
Do you still think Martha is fake laughing at her jokes through letters?
100%. Martha thinks Sabrina's susceptible enough to fall for it again.
Sabrina is susceptible enough to fall for it again. It is not a stretch. Another political fire pops up in the toaster, and Hilda and Zelda begin arguing over magical pings versus dings.
Zelda, but a ping has such a ring. Hilda, the ding has zing.
Hilda is on her date with Hank. He tells her he collects jaguars, and she excuses herself. We hear her using mental floss, then she returns and starts spouting off trivia about jaguar cars. Hank stops her and clarifies that he collects the cat version of jaguars, and I said, Jaguar King?
Ooh.
Hank Exotic? Jaguar King.
Love it.
Oh, remember the good old days where the world was brought together by Tiger King?
Tiger King and Animal Crossing.
It was like 3 weeks of the pandemic where we were all unified. Hilda excuses herself again. Sabrina is at school, staring at her family's secret clues and considering going back to Salem. Miss Quick walks by and immediately solves the of clue.
Oh, a brain teaser. Heart minus L. Heart means love, and love minus the L would be of. Huh.
Sabrina excitedly chases after her to ask how she solved the clue so fast. Miss Quick admits she's addicted to game shows.
I went to a 12-step meeting for help. It was fun. They gave you clues and you had to solve them to find out when and where the meetings were held. It wasn't the best way to kick the habit.
Sabrina makes up a game called Guess the Family Secret and invites Miss Quick to her house to try it. And never mind that she is trying to push Miss Quick back into her active addiction. Miss Quick shouldn't be going to a student's house to play a game one-on-one. No. I know Mr. Kraft is over at their house all the time. That is gross enough as it is. At least there's other adults there when he's there. This is too far. This is a bridge too far. Miss Quick declines, but Sabrina tries again to convince her.
Well, I really shouldn't. It's been a long, hard road staying clean.
Miss Quick decides to forgo watching Little House reruns after school and will come play the game.
Little House references the TV adaptation of Laura Ingalls Wilder's book series, The Little House on the Prairie. Most notably for this episode's usage, Michael Landon played Pa, and Miss Quick has a big crush on Michael Landon because he frequently shows up in her dreams.
Michael Landon was hot. He frequently had his shirt halfway unbuttoned. It was one of the shows you could watch and your parents wouldn't judge you for watching it. I also can't figure out how they did Sabrina's hair. That's these little twisties, almost like French twists, and then poof out this little sticky part. I can't figure out how they did that and got it to stay. I'm assuming 1,000 bobby pins, but it was weird. Valerie grabs Sabrina as she leaves the classroom and asks if she's ready to help Valerie with costumes. Sabrina admits she forgot and made other plans. Miss Quick comes out to say she's excited to go to Sabrina's house to play the game. Valerie is confused. Sabrina grabs Harvey and volunteers him to help Valerie. The scene flips to Harvey modeling a dress as Valerie makes alterations.
Harvey says under his breath, I am not going to twirl.
Oh, Harvey. Such a good sport. Zelda watches TV as a political ad about outlawing mental floss plays. Hilda is upset and guarantees it won't pass. Zelda is for the ban, however.
It will if I have something to say about it. Mental floss encourages lazy habits, and even your mind is a terrible thing to waste.
She's going to campaign for it right now. Hilda vows to fight against the ban, but first she has a date. Sabrina comes back home and asks Salem if her aunts are around. He tells her they're both gone. She tells him to warn her if they come home because she's having her algebra teacher over.
Salem, laughing, says, yeah, right. How pathetic would that be?
Ms. Quick arrives at the side door for some reason, and immediately clocks that the cat is eating a banana.
Sabrina's terrible lie is, oh, he's part chimp on his mother's side.
I had a cat that would eat corn on the cob.
Yeah, just say the cat likes bananas.
Sabrina tells her to wait in the kitchen while she sets up the game. She left Mrs. Quick alone with Salem.
Eating a banana.
But only for 4 seconds because she sets up the game immediately. Sabrina zaps a game show set into the living room, and the announcer calls for Miss Quick to come on down. Miss Quick is so excited and too busy looking at everything to play the game, despite Sabrina's urging.
She asks if the buzzer is a genuine Goodson Todman buzzer. Goodson Todman was a TV executive and producer behind game shows such as Blockbusters, Call My Bluff, Family Feud, Missing Links, Password, The Price is Right, and Winner Takes All.
So Sabrina zaps in Monty Hall to move things along. Miss Quick loses her mind. This is where it was like, how do we find Mary Gross to get her on the podcast to talk about this episode? Because that one doesn't really have socials. And her face, her Monty Hall, like I died. It was great. Monty starts the game by asking the contestants about themselves.
I could not find anything about Terre Haute, Indiana being the stewed fruit capital. However, it is the primary penitentiary that performs the federal death row executions for men.
Oh, there is no officially recognized stewed fruit capital of the U.S. However, one of the places Google lists as fruit capitals, Orem is the fruit capital of the nation during the early 1900s.
Okay, I was about to say, don't think so.
Sabrina hurries him along. He asks Sabrina for her guess on the first clue. She passes. Miss Quick quickly solves it as every.
Birds in a house. Birdhouse would be too obvious, so what else do you call it? Oh, an aviary. Yeah, but aviary doesn't make any sense, so it must be a word that sounds like aviary. Oh, every.
Is that how you solved it, Sky?
Stupid Mrs. Quick. Once I got to aviary.
So when I was telling you that there was a picture I could put in that would be more obvious, there was actually like a picture of like birds behind glass with people looking at them that I think would have been more obvious as aviary. But Sabrina's clue is not really obviously aviary, so I didn't want to give you an unfair advantage.
Hey, I don't have family members popping out of the woodwork to give me clues, so I think that would have been acceptable.
You have me popping out of the woodwork to give you clues.
Except you didn't. That was your chance. And you failed. Poll the people. They'll agree with me.
Sabrina and Miss Quick celebrate and hug. Monty asks Sabrina for her guess on the next clue, and she passes again. Miss Quick is in the middle of solving it when everything freezes. Zelda is back home. Sabrina shoves Miss Quick out the front door.
Well, can't we finish the game? I've got that fever. I'm hot.
Sabrina tries to go up to her room, but Zelda stops her. Zelda tells her that using a shortcut to solve the secret will have serious consequences. Zelda casts a spell to prevent Sabrina from using any shortcuts for a full day, which means no modern conveniences.
You leave me no choice but to punish you. To learn the error of her ways, no shortcuts for 1 day.
Further evidence that spells are not Zelda's strong suit. If she tries to use a shortcut, the Witches' Council will intervene. Sabrina starts cleaning up the game show set. How'd she get Monty Hall and the game show attendant girl home without a shortcut?
I feel like Zelda disposed of them.
Salem wakes Sabrina up the next morning. Her alarm didn't go off because that would be a modern convenience.
Oh, so apparently our forefathers were late for everything?
I've often wondered about that, like in years before clocks and alarm clocks. Like, how did people wake up on time? Or was just like, whatever time you woke up, that was on time. I can barely wake up on time with an alarm clock. And oftentimes don't.
The struggle is real.
Well, I also am able to stay up until midnight because I have lights and,
Yeah.
house. Sabrina comes back into her room after taking a shower, but her hairdryer disappears. She runs downstairs with wet hair, worrying about how she's late. She goes to warm up her breakfast, but the microwave disappears. Sabrina, with very dry hair and kind of styled hair now, finally runs into algebra class, very late. Valerie asks her why she wasn't on the bus, and Sabrina says it was a modern convenience and she's against them and for solar energy. Miss Quick tells her that the question they're working on is very complicated, so they can use calculators. Sabrina pulls hers out, but it disappears.
It's a good thing I don't have a pacemaker.
True. Or like an insulin pump.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the problem on the board is in no way an algebra problem. Not even a little bit. Valerie asks Harvey to help her with the dress for one more fitting. Harvey refuses.
I can't. I have plans and they all involve me wearing pants.
Also, what is with his hat? I do not like it. I don't know what's going on with his hair that we're hiding it with that hat, but anti that hat. Wasn't there a period of time where he was wearing hats, but it was like all the way around brim hats?
There was that. He had the weird cap, and now he has this like other weird style hat.
Sabrina joins them in the cafeteria, and Harvey asks if they're still on for the slicery and pinball after school. but she can't because it's too modern.
How about a rousing game of mahjong?
She then leaves again.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to find a buggy heading uptown.
What was the point of her going into the cafeteria?
To show she can't use modern conveniences.
She's clearly in a hurry to get somewhere. She goes in, says a line, and leaves. Okay, Harvey has a suspicion she doesn't always tell him everything. Valerie cheerfully points out he no longer has plans after school. The scene flips to Valerie putting the finishing touches on the dress as Harvey models it again. Miss Quick pulls Sabrina into her classroom. This is after school, I'm assuming. I don't know why she went uptown in a buggy. I don't know why she's back. She was up half the night working on the second clue to the family secret game. Miss Quick starts to solve it, and Sabrina tries to stop her and plugs her ears. Miss Quick tries to put the paper in her face, but Sabrina refuses to look. Then she breaks and grabs the paper out of Miss Quick's hand and runs away. Sabrina opens the paper and is immediately transported to a cabin wearing pioneer clothing, and a voice booms, "No shortcuts!" The cabin door opens and Miss Quick enters. She asks Sabrina why she's in her little house dream. A news reporter, our weatherman, our local weatherman, is live at a mob scene at election headquarters. And it's actually only about 10 people when that camera pulls out. Hilda and Zelda are arguing over mental floss.
I'm here at election headquarters where a very heated debate has erupted over mental floss. Now arguing in favor of flossing is Hilda Spellman. Hilda Spellman has gone on record as saying a vote against mental floss would be a vote against family values. Interestingly enough, arguing for the opposition is her sister, Zelda Spellman.
I just need like a one-off episode of Hilda and Zelda in the year 2026. That's all I need. Are they even still talking to each other? Probably not. Well, I mean, we got through the Civil War, so maybe. The reporter asks Uncle Roy's opinion, and he says it has turned into a smear campaign with more mudslinging than he has seen in his entire life. We cut to Hilda and Zelda, or at least two women, fighting in mud. Sabrina wakes up an old man sleeping outside the cabin and asks for the quickest way out. He says there are no shortcuts. She asks if he's there to explain things. Sabrina figures out she's supposed to make him something to eat without using shortcuts, and her punishment will be over. The guide says yes. Miss Quick comes out, sweeping the floors, and Sabrina tells her the plan to make bread and butter from scratch.
That's not how my dream usually goes, but okay.
Does Miss Quick usually sweep in her dreams?
While she's waiting for
Michael
for Pa, yeah.
No, don't call him Pa. We get an old-timey montage set to The Hard Way by Faith Hill. Sabrina milks a cow. Miss Quick spills the entire bucket of milk. Sabrina grinds wheat into flour. Miss Quick sneezes it away. Sabrina looks for eggs under a chicken. Miss Quick and Sabrina offer encouragement to the chicken. Sabrina stokes a fire with a bellows, and I had to look up what that thing was called because I couldn't remember. I need some mental floss. Miss Quick opens the cabin door and lets in a snowy wind, and the fire goes out. Sabrina churns butter while Miss Quick is tied up.
Did you actually get The Hard Way, or just like subtitles?
No, that's how I knew what it was, because I had the actual lyrics. I looked it up. Did you get anything?
I got subtitles set to a jaunty country tune that was not The Hard Way by Faith Hill.
Well, that's what you get. Come over to Hulu and you get wrong dates, but you get music sometimes. Sabrina serves her homemade bread and butter to the old man, excited to go back home. Miss Quick points out that this is her dream and she's not ready to go back home. The man eats the bread and butter and thanks Sabrina, then leaves. The fire crackles and an ember lands on Sabrina's dress. She gets it out and realizes the fire clue was ember. M plus ember equals member. Miss Quick praises her for a better answer than what she had. The fire. Sabrina yells out that she figured it out by herself and she's ready to go. She looks around expectantly, but nothing happens. Just then, Valerie comes in wearing similar pioneer garb.
Miss Quick says, I've never dreamed about two students before.
Valerie is excited that Sabrina decided to help out her church after all with their rarey days. I wonder if that's the whole reason they made it a church thing, was so they could make that joke.
Probably.
The guide comes in, leading people in suits and telling them about the cabin. Sabrina realizes he was a tour guide and she's been in Westbridge the entire time. She grumpily stomps out of the cabin and finds Harvey wearing the dress and a bonnet, and also appears to be wearing falsies. because his bosom is nicely filled out in that dress. He went the extra mile. He's filling in for the pastor's wife. And I just held down my period and just did so many dots and then did yikes.
He says of the pastor's wife, of all the days to have an allergic reaction to corn.
That would be terrible. Miss Quick still believes she's in a dream.
I've never dreamed about 3 students before. I'm beginning to think my life is empty.
Kind of is Miss Quick. Sabrina takes her to the side and casts a spell, so Miss Quick finds herself dreaming, asleep at her desk at school.
This teacher's blue and needs a lift. For all her troubles, here's a gift.
Miss Quick goes back to sleep to recapture the dream.
What a wonderful dream. Alone with Harrison Ford, dancing in the gardens of Versailles. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
Go back to sleep. Sabrina marches into the house, tired and filthy. Mud-covered ants feel the same way.
Hilda says, oh sure, we indulged in a little mudslinging, but the tips were great.
Zelda asks how her life on the prairie was and tells her she's lucky the council was so busy with the election that they didn't send her back to the real prairie. Sabrina points out that is a shortcut. Hilda gets up to floss before she votes, and Sabrina calls dibs on the shower first.
I've touched parts of animals you wouldn't put in sausage.
Hilda and Zelda stand in line to vote, and Hilda can't remember anything about the issues. Zelda says that her floss has worn off. Hilda steps out of line to floss again. She gets back into the line just as the polls close. That's why don't get out of line. If you're in line while the polls are open, they have to let you vote. You don't get out of line. But also, it's like they don't have vote by toaster, a toaster in ballot. I feel like that'd be fast and easy.
I could see Salem somehow getting away with voting by toaster, though.
Do not put your actual ballots in toasters, folks. Don't do it.
In case you were thinking of doing that.
Just to cover our bases. The next morning, Sabrina is reviewing the family secret board. So far, she has every member of the Spellmen, but there's no rush now. Zelda comes in and tells them the election results are on. And we hear that Charlie Tursick, who is another writer, lost his election. And Zelda is happy about it. She's like, good. The tell your immortal boyfriend proposition failed by 2 votes.
Sabrina says, thank you very much. Now Harvey's going to continue thinking he's losing his mind forever.
Hilda and Sabrina look at each other in shock as Zelda gloats. Zelda admits that there are some propositions that pass that she's unhappy about. Salem joins them, telling them the good news. Thank God it's Phrygia.
Phrygia. Gotta get down on Phrygia.
In our end tag, Zelda is reading Wuthering Heights, but there's a chapter missing. She yells out that she's going to the library, but decides instead to zap herself into the story. She's on the foggy moors, yelling for Heathcliff, but Hilda and Sabrina are there too to reprimand her for taking a shortcut. Is it a shortcut? She's not reading it for, like, a book report or a grade. She's just reading it for fun. Doesn't matter.
What's the definition of a shortcut in magic?
I don't know. I like the episode. I think it's a fun episode. I feel like the overall story is pointless. Like, the overall lesson is pointless. Zelda tries to claim it was a mistake, saying that first she was trying to summon Roger more than Dudley more, but then admits it was a shortcut. Salem shivers, saying that they had told him they were going for ice cream. All right, Sky, what's your new title for this one? Or did you have last minute thoughts? Sorry, I forgot that part.
Phrygia. Fire. My fire.
When we end this podcast, we should just end it with, you can't fire me, I'm a quit.
Yes.
And that'll be the last thing we say.
Mic drop.
So what's your new title for this one, Sky?
So I do like the long and winding shortcut, but what came to me is you could say it's a quick answer.
Oh. Clever. All right, time for your favorite part. Guess the family secret. I mean, you got most of it.
Yeah. So every member of the Spellman family is born with a something, and it has to have a -E in it. But then there's the good and bad parts in all of us. Now, my question is, does that apply to the final word, or does it apply to just the overall theme of this family secret?
I'm going to go with overall theme. I really don't want you to guess it. I'm really nervous you're going to get it.
Well, we know it's a ridiculously stupid secret, too. So, I'm going to say, every member of the Spellman family is born with a conscience.
Okay.
I think I've maybe guessed that before.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they have a conscience.
Okay, I don't know what clue -E you get. to get to conscience.
No clue either, but the good and bad in all of us, I don't know. I'm still thinking.
There you go. Our next episode is season 3, episode 23, Sabrina the Sandman. What do you think it's going to be about, Sky?
Well, I think you let it drop that we get the Witches' Council saying, yo, why doesn't she know her family secret yet? So we're going to have some other realm shenanigans, and I think the Sandman is actually going to be there as a traditional Sandman character. It could be like a Sabrina Claus thing where she has to fill in for his duties, maybe as part of her way to becoming a witch, and she can find out more about her family secret by doing this. I don't know.
It's a fun episode. We have a returning actor playing a different character. It's a good one, though. I'm excited. Please like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook threads at somethingwitchypod. Until next time,
stay magical.